Okay. Kanachik e satini stekadiuhan konalchish hadi ade. It's really good to see you guys. Thank you for coming here, all of you. This is the Tlingit and Haida lunch session for the Tlingit language. Today is Wednesday, February 18th, and I believe it's week 3 of this class, even though it's my first day joining you. So welcome in. I know Shirley's already introduced herself to you all, but I'm Neela Torah. That's my Koyukon Athabascan name. I'm Koyukon Athabascan on my father's side, and German American on my mother's side. So the native name I use is Athabascan. It's Neela Torah. We have an L sound in our language, and then this GA is like ra. But you guys don't have to get it perfect. But go ahead and unmute your mics and repeat after me for fun, just to get to know me. Nila Torah.
Nila Torah.
That's it. And I'll do it again. Nila Torah.
Nila Torah.
Good job.
Nila Toga.
Aha. Gonarchish. Thank you. Or you can call me Anna. That's my English name. Did you guys already practice Shirley's name? Her Tlingit name is Shaksani Keek. And let's practice the second word. So it's written here on the screen. And I know you guys have just kind of dipped your toes into pronunciation, but when you see an apostrophe after the letter K, that tells you to make it really sharp sounding, kind of snappy. So let's practice this word. Repeat after me. Keek.
Eek.
Good. That was good. Your second K was really sharp. And so that's what we do when we see an apostrophe after a K. Same with an X. We have a pinched X. We call it pinched when we put an apostrophe. It just means you kind of pinch the sound in your mouth, make it really sharp. But the first word in Shirley's name is Shaksani. So repeat after me. Shaksani.
Shaksani.
Good, yeah. When you make an X sound in Tlingit, you're just making a little friction in your mouth at the top of your mouth with the top of your tongue. Just kind of squeezing it so that when the air goes through, it sounds a little windy. And when you pinch it with the apostrophe, it becomes. And so let's do her whole name. Repeat after me. Shagsani Keek.
Shaksani Keek.
Good job. So yeah, welcome to day 1 with me, working right into the challenging sounds of the Tlingit language, but we'll be working on these regularly. So if you haven't already gone over this class is fully online. We meet every, not Tuesday, but Wednesday. Sorry for my typo here. Wednesdays at 12 to 1. It's our lunchtime once a week, Wednesdays. And it runs until April 28th. We do have a scheduled break. So the week of March 9th to the 13th is our spring break. So, of course, we'll let you know closer to then. But if you're trying to make plans with your family and not be on Zoom that week, just know that we won't have class. So that will be our spring break. A couple things I wanted to mention in case they haven't been already. Hi, Shirley.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Okay.
Just introducing myself and kind of talking about some of the things you and I mentioned earlier. But yeah, so for the students, what to expect, we succeed as a group. So Shirley and I really like to correct pronunciation when we need to. But so that you don't feel too shy or too on the spot, we don't really single people out. It's just if we hear that a sound needs to be worked on, we'll have everybody repeat after me, and then you work as a group. Um, so I want you to feel challenged in this class, but not singled out. Yeah, I want you to feel like up for the challenge. And then, of course, classes are recorded and put on YouTube so that you can refer back to them. If you're new to the class, you can look at the older ones. And for people who can't make it, they can still learn. Did you guys go over how to find the class recordings yet?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so I have some links on the slide and I'll put them in the chat. I like to share all our class slides with everyone so that if we have videos or resources in them that you all have access. So I'll put them in the chat and then I'll show you the actual YouTube page. So if we want to look at class recordings, we go to Tlingit and Haida's YouTube channel. And these are listed by date, which is really nice. So if there's a specific day you couldn't come, you can go back and watch it. If you want to see how Shirley and I have been teaching together for, I think, 4 years now. So if you want to go back and see things that we've taught in the past, you can always give these a look. But they're just all our old class recordings. And I'll put this link in the chat for your quick reference. Go ahead and save that in your bookmarks if you like. And then I keep all of our class slides in one folder. You can open them all up and review them. You can teach a class with them if you like. We make these for you guys. So you can find all these in our folder. Any questions or comments so far? So kind of today, I can see that a couple of you have the slides, so that's good. Today we'll just do a discussion so I can get to know you all. I have an icebreaker question for you guys, and then Shirley and I are gonna start introducing phrases so that when an occasion comes up, like if you're saying goodbye and you want to say "I'll see you again," that's the phrase we'll be working on today. And if we have time, we'll start looking at this article by Dr. Walter Soboleff called Tlingit Protocols. And we'll start using that as our base resource for learning vocabulary and just staying grounded in cultural values and protocol. Okay, so my icebreaker question for you, and I would love to hear from everybody, is how long have you been learning the Tlingit language and what inspired you? So I'll go first. I started learning in 2017 at the university in Juneau. And what inspired me is that actually I'm not of Tlingit heritage. I'm Koyukon at the Basque on my dad's side, like I mentioned. So the year that I quit working on tugboats to go learn my language was the year that Eliza Jones retired from teaching our language at the university. And I just went ahead and went to Southeast. Our languages are related. They have a lot in common. So that's what inspired me, just the similarity and the programming, and just I guess it was just fun. But yeah, that's a little about me. How about you guys? How long have you been learning the Tlingit language, and what inspired you?
I'll go. When I was young, I was probably 12 or 13. I moved to Anchorage away from all of my family I grew up in like Craig and Cloak and Saxman, and there wasn't a whole lot of Tlingit going on up there, at least where I was and around the people I was with. So I don't remember where I got them, but I got these recordings of the Tlingit language, and I started trying to teach myself how to count and things like that in Tlingit.
Nice.
And then I kind of stopped for a while, but over time I found like little classes or people who are willing to teach language here and there, and I've just jumped in any place that I can.
Nice. I love that. Thank you for sharing. I'm nosy to hear about your recordings. You don't have to share them right now, but I would like to hear kind of like what those recordings are and what your favorite thing. Go ahead.
Oh gosh, I don't have them anymore, and I don't know, I don't recall where they came from. This was 20 years ago or more.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, I'm not sure where I came across them, but they were just simple, recordings of like teaching you how to count and the sounds. And I'm not sure what dialect it was, but it was all I had when I was up there, so I clung to it.
Nice.
Was there anybody helping you, or you just did it all on your own?
No, I was just doing it by myself.
Oh my goodness, that's good. A lot of determination. Mm.
Yeah, it's so true. It's hard work. And yeah, it takes a lot of determination to do self-study. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're with us, and it's fun to hear your background story. Um, who else wants to share?
Sure, I can share. I started learning Tlingit in 2022, and I think what inspired me, I don't know, it just clicked. So growing up, my mom was a residential school survivor, so she lost her language, but she knew a few phrases, so she would always teach us. But my grandparents, especially my grandfather, he was fluent, so I'd always hear him, and I just remember as a kid listening and thinking that it sounded so complicated, and I would never be able to understand it. And then just a few years ago, just something kind of clicked. I don't know if it was my frame of mind or whatever, but it just ignited this like passion to learn. So I've been just taking any Tlingit classes that I find, and yeah, just totally inspired to learn.
Goodness, geez.
Yeah, the fluent speakers, I know it sounds real complicated. So, but you get used to hearing it. That's always a good source.
So true. Saki, when you say that maybe it was your frame of mind that changed, do you have like thoughts or anything like that that come to mind?
Um, the only thing really I could think of is I think it was uh, when they discovered the unmarked graves in Kamloops, British Columbia. It really, I guess, opened my mind to just learning more about Canada's history with residential school. And I think along with that was that reconnection and reconnecting with my roots. And then it just, like I said, it inspired me to learn. And somehow or another, it became possible rather than impossible. And then, like I said, it kind of ignited this passion where now I'm looking for Tlingit classes everywhere.
Mm.
So, yeah.
That's so positive. We're so glad to have you.
Gonna sheesh.
Yeah, it's amazing what can happen when you start thinking of things as being possible and not impossible. I love it. Who would like to share next?
Guess I'll go.
Okay.
Um, I'm just trying to learn. I'm interested in learning both Tlingit and Tsimshian. I mostly just speak Haida, but I'm interested in learning the other two because we've always lived together, right? So next door. So and last semester I just started this thing. I've only been learning since last semester under Yarrow or Sakjaye. Um, and I just started this thing that the class likes where I just go from Haida to Tlingit for mini lessons, and so I gotta pick up more Tlingit. Um, but yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
So that's so positive. And and one word of encouragement, uh, you start to learn languages, it becomes a lot easier for you because you begin to understand how these how it's put together, and you're right. Uh, we do mix together a lot, Simshan and Haida and Tlingit. And I used to
Mm-hmm.
do that all the time when I was growing up. It was at conventions and all kinds of different gatherings. So want to encourage you because that's really a big task, but I think you will accomplish it because, like I say, uh, you start learning languages, it becomes a lot easier. Going to teach.
Well, that's geez, thank you. Yeah, no, actually, so I agree. And actually, what I found is because I do speak Haida fluently already, pretty much, and like I've done like I'm working on a big database and everything for that one. I actually find it's easier to learn Tlingit when you skip the English.
Nice.
Hmm. The languages make more sense together.
Nice. That's incredible. Keep it up. Keep up your good work. Anybody else want to share?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I'm not Zoom proficient yet, but I grew up hearing well, my parents and my grandparents said little phrases here and there, like Ishan and Hagu and Iskani, and I don't know the proper, breaking down each syllable and the spelling. And then I got to hear my grandpa and his friend come and converse. So I liked to say I got to hear like the cadence and that there was like long pauses of quiet and then just like laughter. And you know how if you can kind of hear a language and you don't understand it, you can kind of get like, oh, they're talking about, like, for some reason, I think they all started with the weather, even though I didn't know the language.
Mm.
And so that was cool, a cool memory that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, his name is Albert Wallace Sani. I don't know, but then I took a little PETAS class with Corey actually years ago, and we did our introductions. And then and I'm in Washington and I'm missing home, so I thought I've been reading about Chilkat and Ravenstail weaving, and I just thought that would tie in nicely with what I'm learning there, and just to hear the language and the learners. And Shirley, the elder, I love hearing her stories, and it just feels like home. Yeah.
Goodness, geez. I can kind of relate to that. I think my favorite thing about learning Tlingit is the human connection that you end up having with people. A couple of you mentioned wanting to be connected to your roots and yeah, finding out where you come from. And I love that. I wrote the words that you mentioned on the screen. Ishan is like, how would you describe that, Shirley? Ishan.
How to translate it?
Yeah.
Well, it was really a common word. that we used to use with each other and also in the family. Um, it just depends on who you're saying it about or uh, who you're saying it to. Uh, so uh, the meaning, of course, it means poor thing, but uh, I think it was really a common word among us, and it depends on your tone of voice too.
Mm.
Like Ishan, like oh, poor thing. So
Mm.
it's just uh, how how you use it, and it just um, it could even be a short thing like, oh, Ishan, like sometimes I remember my mom used uh, to use it like that, and in regards to other people or uh, even animals. So it's really a word that people know, and it's a good one for us uh, to use to show sympathy for somebody,
Mm.
uh, especially if someone's telling you somebody got real sick and they had to go to the hospital or something. So
Mm.
a discussion about that.
Good night. Awesome. Hannah, I think you're the only one who hasn't gone yet, but not to put you on the spot, but we have an icebreaker question going around. How long have you been learning the Tlingit language and what inspired you?
Hi, sorry I was late to the group. I have a toddler at home. I was currently a stay-at-home mom for a couple years, more than I intended, and now that my daughter is about to be 3, I'm going back into the work field, and I ended up taking some Tlingit and Haida sewing classes, and I realized it helped me feel more connected to my culture and native community, like more than I realized. I didn't know how much I really needed it. And then I kind of felt like I was, just missing out on the language. And so I didn't grow up speaking Tlingit with my family. The culture kind of just got lost in our uh, generation. And so that's something that kind of just always really stuck with me is like, hey, I'd really like to, yeah, connect back to my culture and keep it alive and bring it back for my family. And so I've been coming to a couple seasons of your classes, and I'm just a beginner, and so there's some things I know, and then I'm still learning a lot. But my daughter and I, we just joined a dance group, and so we're excited to be learning how to dance in celebration this summer and work on regalia and start speaking the language more and being able to sing the songs and share that with everybody. So gonna kshish.
Mm.
Oh, that's good. The learning of the language, if you hear it, really, if you've heard it spoken before by other people, then you begin to kind of get an idea of how it is spoken. So it's important for the new speakers, if they had any friends or relatives that spoke that language. Um, I think I can't be part of the discussion about how I learned Klingon because I was born into it, and that was the only language I knew because my family, that's what they spoke. And And I'm sorry to say that when I started school, it kind of beat it out of me. But um, and those of you that have gone through this and have been kind of left out in the field, uh, it was kind of interesting to me that those of us that went through the sorrow of being beaten by the teacher, uh, we kind of let go of the language and didn't didn't teach it to our children. And so it wasn't the children's fault that you didn't learn it. It's like you didn't pay attention, but it just wasn't taught to you because it was uh, uh, everybody that came to work with us, missionaries and teachers, felt that we shouldn't speak it, that we should only be Americans and speak English. And we didn't do either of that very well. It was terrible. So I uh, I learned I learned English pretty fast, um, mainly because I was being beaten, and I had the tendency to repeat her words, and she seemed to be satisfied with it. But I got caught a lot trying to help others who say uh, English words, and it was a pretty difficult time and a terrible time for us. I can't. Uh, I don't know if they even taught us how to count or speak any words, and we spoke. We I think after the second grade, we spoke the language, and so uh, we used to go to Juneau in the fall time to do some things as a family. And I used to like to go to the village where the kids were playing so I could play with them, talk to them. And they were real friendly to talk. And after a few times, I it suddenly occurred to me that they liked talking to me to make fun of my Concat, my English.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were walking away, they were trying to imitate me with my village English. And it it didn't hurt my feelings. I was puzzled, and I thought I sounded okay. So then we don't stay very long in Juneau. We just get a few things, and we're ready for the winter. So we went back, and it turned out that the missionaries liked to hang out at my house because of my parents. And they spent a lot of hours just talking and visiting and studying. And I finally began to hide under the table where they used to have a discussion so I could listen. And I began to realize the differences in the way I said things and the way they said uh, their their English really sounded different. And so I began to hear the differences. And started imitating it. It took me a whole year, and but I finally was able to handle that. So after summer, we went back to Juneau, and I saw my friends, and I thought, wow, try out my English. So I would over, and I started talking to them, and their mouths fell open, looking at me. And finally, one of them said, "We're not going to play with you because you talk too fancy." Wow. And so I had left there, and when we got to Huna, the mission church people decided to make a change. There was new missionaries, and it turns out that the English I learned from the other missionaries was Canadian.
Huh.
So I was speaking Canadian English, and I heard Americans. That was quite a big difference. So here I go again for another year to study under the table. But when I used to get really nervous in public, I would unconsciously switch to Canadian. I don't think I can do that anymore. But it was kind of interesting to go through that, put yourself through it. So that was my experience in learning languages. It is hard.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be determined.
Yeah.
So I hope we'll be really helpful to all of you because we're determined to teach you phrases so you could be able to say things.
Thanks for sharing, Shirley. That's a big story and a lot of heavy feelings, I think, come with it. But it's helpful for us, learners to hear like what you went through and what you overcame so that you could be here to teach us. Any other thoughts, comments, questions? All right, so we want to teach you phrases, and the one we planned for today is I will see you again. And this is something that when you're saying goodbye to someone, just letting them know, and I'll see you again. The first part is tsuye, and this means again. So let's practice this part, these first two words. Repeat after me. Tsuye. And if you guys feel brave, you can unmute your mic so we can hear you. Repeat after me. Tsuye.
Tsuye.
Yay.
Good job. Oh, you brought your little one. Awesome. Good
She's
job.
joining
Good. That makes me happy.
as much as her attention span allows.
Uh-huh. But
In Tlingit, we do not have letters ST, but we do have TS.
huh. Nice. Thank you. So yeah, again is tsuye.
Tsuye.
Mm-hmm. And then the part I will see you, The root of the word is at the end here, and let's do just the ending of the word. This T, high tone double E, and repeat after me. Teen.
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 Yeah. And now let's do the first half of the word. We have two K's next to each other. This first IK, repeat after me. Ik.
Ik.
Good. This next sound is underline K, W A. Repeat after me. Kwa.
Qua.
Qua.
Good job. So if it's underlined, it's in the back of your throat. So you're pushing the back of your tongue up to the back of your throat. Repeat after me. Kwa.
Qua.
Qua.
Good. Now put these two sounds together. There's going to be a little puff of air between the two Ks, and that's what will make it easy for you. So repeat after me. Ik kwa.
Ik. Qua.
Ik. Qua.
Good. Again. Ik kwa.
Ik. Qua.
Qua.
Good. And then starting from the S. Satine.
Satine.
Teen.
Good. Let's do the whole word. Ik kwa satine.
Ik. Qua.
Ik.
Satine.
Qua. Satine.
Good job. You sound really good. And again, ik kwa satine.
Ik. Qua.
Ik. Qua.
Satine.
Satine.
Nice. Now let's do the whole phrase, starting with tsuye. Repeat after me. Tsuye ik kwa satine.
Tsuye. Ik.
Ye.
Qua.
Qua.
Satine.
Satine.
Good. Again. Tsuye ik kwa satine.
Tsuye. Ik. Qua.
Ye.
Satine.
Satine.
Good. I will see you again. Shirley, how do we sound?
It sounds good. I want to point out that is one letter. It means you. It's ik plus satine, and satine is the word for seeing. So, ye ik plus satine, it means I will see you after a while, or I'll see you again. We don't say goodbyes. I know that when I used to teach teachers say, how do you say goodbye and how do you say hello? We don't. We don't do that. We just say, well, we'll see you again, because that does happen.
Nice. So like Shirley said, I put in red here, this I in ik kwa satine is you. So that's I will see you. So you guys can remember, like she said, this I is you. I'm talking about I will see you. So not to get too deep into it, but you can tell from our translations that I have, tsuye is again, I is you, and kwasatin, I will see. It's a little different word order, right, than what we use in English. And you don't have to memorize it, but just kind of make a mental note that when you say things in Lingit, you might be saying them in a different order from the English language.
That's really important.
Yeah. Any questions on that?
So what you're saying is, again, I will see you.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. So Lavina mentioned a couple of words that she's heard before, and we talked about Ishan. Another one she mentioned is Hagu. And this one means come here when you're talking to one person. So if you're telling one person come here, you can say Hagu. And let's practice that one. Hagu.
Gu.
Because usually it's a
Go.
reference back to an
Good.
artist means.
And then another one she mentioned is Atskani, and that's like a sound. Shirley, how would you translate that one? Atskani.
That's when you see something spooky, or somebody's telling you something spooky. It's gonna means, ooh, spooky.
Yeah. So those are fun memories. Thank you for. Let's practice that one. Repeat after me. Atskani.
Atskani.
I'm sorry. Atskani.
Your little one said it good. Atskani. I kind of wanted to ask you guys, what other phrases have you heard before in Lingit, or words if you've heard them before? No pressure, but just kind of, if this isn't your first class, if you've taken some stuff before, are there words or phrases that you know in Lingit that you want to share?
My gram always, told us "day away, day
Uh-huh.
away." When we were kids, that was her favorite phrase, "day away."
Nice. I would kind of translate that one maybe as like, that's enough. What do you think, Shirley?
Was it?
It was day away.
Or stop it.
Stop it. Okay.
We didn't hear a lot of Tlingit growing up. My grandfather refused to speak it completely, but my grandma was real big on the day away, the hoocha, and the juk.
Mm.
Yeah, stop it. That's a favorite phrase. Yeah, they're in the say in Tlingit book. That's one of the phrases that's on the list. That it's just words, and they explain it as they go. But that's kind of a fun list to go through. I think it brings back memories from things that you heard as a kid. Uh, my mom and my sister-in-law and I we had a table in the front room, and we were trying to work on some projects, and the kids kept. My kids were quite young at that time, and they kept running in, and every time they came in, and my mom would yell, "It's your turn!" And so somebody would go back and close the door. And then again, here comes some more kids. It's your turn. She kept yelling, "It's your turn." Finally, my son came over and said, "Mom, how come Grandma, every time we come in, Grandma says, 'Bite your tongue'?"
Oh, Reit Shutan. Close the door.
Yeah, close it too.
Can you say that again? I really want to use that one. How do you say? How do you say the door part?
Eight Shutan.
Kate Shutan. I think that's my new favorite phrase. Kate Shutan. You hear that?
Close it.
That's fun. That's a new one for me. I never heard it before. Reit Shutan.
I think was it last week or the week before? Shirley taught us ha'e, and I keep using that one on my kids. They don't know what I'm saying, but at least I'm able to use it on someone.
Uh-huh. That's a common expression, but let's see. How would you translate that one, Shirley? Uh-huh.
It's like if it's used uh, on somebody who's maybe bragging or telling a story about himself that's a real great story, or uh, bragging or do something, and the comment uh, is pretty funny to other people. So when after telling this great big giant story, a wonderful story about themselves, and uh, so the grandma gets up and says, uh, eh, yeah, that's too much, or something like that. Yeah.
My daughter, her name is Sana. She doesn't have a Tlingit name, so I told her that's her Tlingit nickname.
Cute. Fun. Any other phrases you guys have heard before you want to practice?
Or you want to know about?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Hannah, you had your hand up earlier. Did you have a comment?
Yeah. One of the phrases I heard a lot growing up, just in the communities at gatherings was "Iguajuan," which I think means to be strong.
Yeah.
Nice.
Take it, let's see, you go on, be strong.
Nice. Um,
or do a good job, or it's encouragement.
mhm.
And sometimes the phrases that we have that are so much fun, it's hard to explain because they're funny to us, and um, it's just uh, things that we used to say to each other, so didn't have uh, the meaning wasn't that big or important. It's just a comment you make to somebody.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see that one floating around a lot, Igu Gayakwan, and it's always followed with have strength and courage. Is that not what it translates to?
Yeah. Yeah, it can be used that way. So it has depending on who you say it to and at what time. So it makes a difference. It could be real words of encouragement to encourage a young person or to somebody that's going to do something.
Yeah, let's practice that one. So we have, are these big enough? Can you guys see these letters? Some head nods. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. So this last word is Juan, and it's pinched X WAN, and repeat after me. Juan.
Kwan.
Good. Yeah, you make just a little friction at the top of your mouth with that pinched X, and again, Juan.
Kwan.
Nice. Yeah, the W tells you to round your lips, and so you go right into that sound. One more time. Juan.
Juan.
Good. That was good. The word before it is y, yuck. It's Y, high tone A, underline X. So that underline X is going to be back of your throat. More of like your snoring zone, like that kind of a sound. So repeat after me. Yuck.
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 Perfect.
Yuck.
Good. Again. Yuck.
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 Good. And then back for the one, we're going to go back to the top of our mouth, and it's a little smoother, but you're pinching it. Repeat after me. One.
One.
Juan.
Juan.
Nice. So you're going to practice some finesse going from the yuck, the underline X, back of your throat, to the top of your mouth now for one. So you just be patient with yourselves, but go repeat after me. Yuck. One.
Yuck.
Yuck.
One.
Yuck.
Juan.
Juan.
Good job. And let's do it again. Yuck. One.
Yuck.
Yuck.
One.
Juan.
Good. The first two words, ikoa. You have I, and then this period in the middle of the word. Has anyone seen that before? What does that mean?
Take a pause between the gua and gua and ah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah. You just stop in the air in the between the and the ah. So repeat after me. Go ah.
Gu ah.
That's it. Good. So add the iko ah.
Igua.
Igu ah.
Iku
Good.
ah.
Uh-huh. And then the second half, yach kwan.
Yuck.
Yuck.
One.
Juan.
Good. Now nice and slow. We're gonna do the whole phrase. Take your time and repeat after me. Iko a yach kwan.
Igu
ah.
Yuck.
Juan.
Nice work. Again. Iko a yach kwan.
Igu ah.
Igua.
Yuck.
Yuck. One.
Good. And one more time. Iko a yach kwan.
Igu ah.
Igua. Yuck. One.
Juan.
Juan.
Good job. Shirley, do you have any feedback for us?
Again, the letter I at the beginning, you're talking to someone. Individual. So you're saying it to one person. And when the period appears, there's a tendency for it to appear between two vowels. So it makes it, I think what it does is makes you
This is family housing, Richard.
both of the vowels.
That's the FH contract.
That's the thing about our language is we say all the letters. Yeah, you don't. It's not like English where an L appears or different letters appear and you don't even say it.
Mm.
But with us, we say it all. So, when you see that, you're talking to somebody. If you're talking to a group, you say ye. Ye go aya fun.
Nice. So I'm gonna put, like Shirley said, to note that you're talking to one person and I'm saying you. I put a little s in brackets here. That means singular. And so if you're talking to one person, you say iko ayach kwan. So repeat after me. Iko ayach kwan.
Iku ayach Juan.
Juan.
Good. And then, like she said, if we're talking to more than one person, this I changes to ye. And you're still saying you, but you're talking to more than one person. So I'll put a P in brackets for plural. And let's practice this one. Yi ko ayach kwan.
Yigu ayak Juan.
Juan.
Good.
That's really important to know to encourage others. it's something that you should have at the tip of your tongue to encourage others do a good job or have encouragement or that kind of thing. Sometimes the translation doesn't come across as easily as some other words, but it does it if you kind of use all of them to describe the phrase. It's a wonderful phrase.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing that. Um, and thank you to the student who brought it up that you've heard this before. This is really nice, turned into a nice lesson for us. And Shirley, we're at time, but did you have any more closing comments before we go?
No, I want to apologize for being late. My computer wouldn't let me in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to hurry and make contact with the company, I guess, to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. No problem. I go through that every once in a while too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, good job, you guys. It's nice to join in on your class. I'll be here with you for the rest of them. And have a great weekend. We'll see you next week on Wednesday, same time.
Yeah.
Goodness, cheese.
That's
See you.
Tish.
J.
See you.
Constantine.
CA Quasatine.
Quasatine.
Team.
Quasatine.
I don't know.